I should have known something was wrong when Chidra insisted on staying in the bridal suite with me after my wedding reception. But how could I suspect my best friend of 15 years? The same girl who helped me choose my wedding dress, who stood beside me as chief bridesmaid, who cried happy tears when Emeka proposed. How was I supposed to know that while I was passed out from exhaustion in that hotel bathroom, she would climb into bed with my husband? Let me start from the beginning, because this betrayal didn't happen overnight. It was carefully planned, expertly executed, and I was too blind to see it coming. My name is Adaeze, and I'm a pharmacist in Lagos. I met Chidra when we were 13 years old at Queen's College. She was the new girl from Anambra, and I was the girl who showed her around. From that day, we became inseparable. We shared everything: clothes, secrets, dreams, even our first heartbreaks. When I got into University of Lagos to study pharmacy and she went to study accounting, we still talked every single day. When I met Emeka at a friend's wedding 3 years ago, Chidra was the first person I called. "Babe, I don't meet my husband though." I screamed into the phone that night. "And tell me everything," she squealed back. And I did. I told her how Emeka was a civil engineer, how he made me laugh, how he looked at me like I was the only woman in Nigeria. Chidra was so happy for me. Or so I thought. The signs were there, but I missed every single one. Like how Chidra always wanted to hang out whenever Emeka was around. How she would dress extra special when she knew we were all meeting up. How she laughed too loud at his jokes and touched his arm too freely. I thought she was just being friendly. I thought she was happy that her best friend had found love. "You're so lucky, Ada," she would say, looking at Emeka with eyes I should have questioned. "Emeka is such a good man. You better hold him tight." Oh. And hold him I did. Or at least I tried. 6 months into our relationship, Chidra lost her job at the bank. She was devastated, and as her best friend, I was there for her. Emeka was there too. "Don't worry, Chi," he said one evening when we were all at my place in Suralere. "I have a friend who's looking for an accountant. Let me connect you." "Oh, Emeka. Thank you so much." Chidra hugged him, and the hug lasted 3 seconds too long. But I smiled. I was proud of my man for helping my best friend. That was my first mistake. The job worked out, and Chidra was grateful. Too grateful. She started calling Emeka directly to thank him, to update him on how work was going, to ask for advice. When I asked her about it, she laughed. "Babe, I beg, your husband-to-be is like a brother to me now. You SEF, you dey jealous your own friend." I laughed too and called myself stupid for even thinking anything was wrong. After all, this was Chidra. My Chidra. The girl who knew all my secrets, who had been my maid of honor at my traditional wedding, who had helped me plan every detail of my white wedding. The white wedding was beautiful. December 28, 2024, at the Civic Center in Victoria Island. Everything was perfect, my dress was stunning, the decoration was breathtaking, and Emeka looked like a king in his white suit. Chidra was right beside me the entire time, adjusting my dress, touching up my makeup, making sure I looked perfect. "Ada, you're the most beautiful bride I've ever seen," she whispered as we waited to enter the church. "Emeka is so lucky." I hugged her tight. "Thank you for everything, Chi. I don't know what I would do without you." If only I had known that in a few hours, those words would taste like poison in my mouth. The reception was at Eco Hotel. We danced, we ate, we sprayed money until our hands hurt. By 11 p.m., I was exhausted. My feet were killing me from the heels, my face hurt from smiling, and all I wanted was to get to the bridal suite and finally be alone with my husband. "Babe, let me help you get ready," Chidra offered as we headed to the suite. "You know I packed that special lingerie for you. Let me help you into it." Emeka had gone ahead to the room to change and order champagne. The plan was simple. I would freshen up, change into something comfortable yet sexy, and we would finally have our wedding night. Our first night as husband and wife. But my body had other plans. The champagne at the reception, combined with the exhaustion and the heat, hit me all at once. As soon as we got to the suite, I felt dizzy. Chidra helped me to the bathroom, where I promptly threw up everything I had eaten that day. "Chai, Ada, take it easy," Chidra said, holding my hair back. "That your auntie's pepper soup was too peppery, abeg." I spent the next 30 minutes in that bathroom, going between the toilet and the sink. My beautiful white lingerie remained in the bag. My makeup was ruined. I felt like death. "Chi, please tell Emeka I'm sorry," I mumbled, barely conscious. "Tell him I just need to rest more." "We can. Tomorrow. Don't worry, babe. Just rest. I'll handle everything." Those words. "I'll handle everything." I should have asked what she meant. But I was too sick, too tired, too trusting. I don't know when I passed out on the bathroom floor. All I remember is waking up at 5 a.m. with a stiff neck and a pounding headache. The bathroom tiles were cold against my cheek. My wedding dress was crumpled around me like a tragic costume. I managed to stand up and stumble to the bedroom, ready to apologize to Emeka for ruining our wedding night. Ready to laugh about it and maybe try again in the morning. But what I saw when I opened that door killed something inside me. My husband of barely 6 hours, was in bed with Chidra. They were both naked, tangled in the sheets that were supposed to be ours. Chidra's head was on Emeka's chest. His arm was around her waist. I stood there, frozen. My brain couldn't process what my eyes were seeing. This had to be a nightmare. This couldn't be real. Not Chidra. Not Emeka. Not on my wedding night. Not in the bridal suite I had carefully selected and paid for. The sound that came out of my mouth was inhuman. A scream that came from somewhere deep and primal, somewhere I didn't know existed. They both jumped up. The look on their faces, shock, guilt, fear, confirmed that this was not a nightmare. This was my new reality. "Ada. Ada, wait," Emeka started. "Get out," I whispered. Then louder, "Get out." Chidra was scrambling for her clothes, crying. "Ada, please, I can explain." "Explain what, Chidra?" "How you slept with my husband on my wedding night. In my bridal suite." The hotel security came running. Other guests opened their doors. My mother, who was staying 2 floors down, came rushing up in a nightgown. The scene was chaos. But in my head, everything was eerily quiet. I was replaying every moment of my friendship with Chidra like a movie. Every hug, every laugh, every secret shared. And I saw them all differently now. Every time she touched Emeka. Every time she called him. Every time she offered to help with wedding planning. She wasn't being supportive. She was plotting. My mother took me to her room. I was shaking, unable to cry, unable to speak. Emeka kept calling my phone. Chidra sent dozens of messages. I blocked them both. "NWAM, what happened?" my mother asked gently. When I finally found my voice and told her, she didn't scream or curse like I expected. She just held me tight and said, "Aichi Oju," then she started praying. Evil thing. But I didn't want prayers. I wanted answers. Over the next few days, I became a detective. I went through Emeka's phone, which he'd abandoned in his rush to leave the hotel, and what I found shattered me even more. Messages between him and Chidra going back 8 months. 8 months. They had been sleeping together for 8 months. While I was planning our wedding. While I was picking out cake flavors and sending out invitations. While Chidra was pretending to be my loving best friend. The messages made me sick. "Emeka, I can't wait for this wedding to be over so we can stop hiding." "Chidra, baby, Just a few more weeks. Ada suspects nothing. She trusts me too much. Emeka, do we really have to go through with it? Can't I just call it off? Chidera, no. We need her pharmacy business connections. Once we get what we need, you can divorce her. Patience, my love. I read that message 10 times. They were using me. My husband married me for my business connections, planning to divorce me after they had extracted what they needed. And Chidera, my best friend, was the mastermind. But there was more. Much more. I found bank statements showing that Emeka had been stealing from the joint account we opened for wedding expenses. 50,000 here, 100,000 there, all transferred to Chidera's account. They had used my own money to fund their affair. The hotel rooms, the dinners, the gifts, all my money. The job Emeka got for Chidera. That was planned too. The friend who hired her was Emeka's cousin, and they had arranged it so Emeka and Chidera would have legitimate reasons to communicate without raising my suspicion. Every single thing had been a lie. A carefully constructed lie that lasted 15 years. My family wanted me to file for divorce immediately. My mother wanted to go to Chidera's family and expose her. But I said no. I had a better plan. I called Chidera. Ada. Oh my God, Ada, please let me explain. She started crying immediately. Meet me at Mama Cass in Lekki tomorrow. 2 p.m. Come alone, I said calmly and hung up. I knew she would come. Her curiosity and guilt wouldn't let her stay away. The next day, I arrived at the restaurant early and sat in the back corner. When Chidera walked in, she looked terrible. Her eyes were swollen, her hair wasn't done, and she had lost weight. Good. She sat down hesitantly. Ada, I'm so sorry. I know you hate me, tell me why, I interrupted. 15 years, Chidera. 15 years of friendship. Why? She started crying. I don't know how it started. One day, Emeka and I were just talking, and things happened. I tried to stop it. Ada, I swear, don't lie to me anymore, I said quietly, sliding my phone across the table with the messages open. I've seen everything. 8 months. You planned this. Her face went pale. Ada, you know what hurts the most? I continued, my voice steady despite the tears in my eyes. It's not even that you slept with Emeka. It's that you pretended to love me while plotting to destroy me. You helped me choose my wedding dress knowing you planned to sleep with my husband. You stood beside me at the altar as my chief bridesmaid, knowing that same night you would betray me. That's what makes you evil, Chidera. Not the affair. The calculated wickedness of it all. She was sobbing now. I'm sorry, your sorry means nothing, I said. But I want you to know something. You and Emeka deserve each other. You're both liars, both thieves, both heartless. So I'm going to let you have him. She looked up, confused. What? I'm not filing for divorce immediately. I'm going to let you two continue your relationship. Let's see how long love built on betrayal will last. Let's see if he treats you better than he treated me. Let's see if you can trust a man who married someone else while sleeping with you. I stood up to leave, but I had one more thing to say. Oh, and Chidera. That business connection you were after. The pharmaceutical distributor deal Emeka wanted. I already called them and cancelled everything. Emeka's company won't be getting that contract. In fact, I made sure they know exactly what kind of man he is. Word travels fast in Lagos business circles. Good luck rebuilding what you destroyed. I walked out of that restaurant with my head high. 3 weeks later, I filed for annulment. The marriage was never consummated. I had medical records from that night proving I was ill and incapacitated. I also filed charges for theft against Emeka for stealing from our joint account. My lawyer was vicious and thorough. But the real karma came 6 months later. I heard through mutual friends that Emeka had dumped Chidera. Apparently, once the wedding was annulled and the business deal fell through, he had no use for her anymore. He moved on to another woman, leaving Chidera heartbroken and betrayed, exactly how she left me. She called me, crying, asking if we could talk. I didn't pick up. She sent messages saying Emeka had used her, that she finally understood how I felt, that she was sorry. I read them all and deleted every single one. Some people say I should have forgiven her. That 15 years of friendship should count for something. But those people don't understand that the length of a betrayal doesn't measure its depth. Chidera didn't just betray me for a moment. She betrayed me systematically, deliberately, joyfully for 8 months. Today, I'm healing. I moved to a new apartment in Ikoyi, far from the memories. I'm focusing on expanding my pharmacy business. I'm learning to trust again, slowly. Some days are harder than others, but I'm no longer that girl crying on a bathroom floor. I've learned that not everyone who calls you sister has your best interest at heart. I've learned that sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who can hurt you the most. I've learned that when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time, even if it takes you a while to see it clearly. As for Emeka and Chidera, I don't waste my energy hating them. Karma did its job. They lost a good woman, they lost respect, and they lost each other. That's punishment enough. But if there's one thing I want you to take from my story, it's this: guard your heart. Not everyone deserves access to your life, your secrets, your partner, or your joy. And if someone betrays you, especially on what should be the happiest day of your life, know that walking away with your dignity is the greatest revenge. They took one night from me. I refuse to let them take the rest of my life.